Hey everybody, Al Puglisi Trains on an ongoing apprentice series with Howard Zane. I wanted to call this kind of gas station madness. Howard is building a third gas station for a client, and I'm helping him with the build as his apprentice. And some time ago on the channel, we featured these other gas stations. You can go to my channel and click on videos, and you can scroll down. There's 190 of them. But you can scroll down and you can find the old builds on some of these older gas stations. Let me just real quick, before we go look at the new gas station, let's take a look at the older ones that Howard built and me as an apprentice did a little bit of helping with. Here's the first one that, well, this is actually the second one that Howard built. And on the apprentice series, you can watch him showing me how to do a lot of the building on this. Howard built this one some time ago on the channel. It's just a beautiful Esso gas station. And there's another one. Over here, it's the Shell station. And that was the first one when I started helping Howard as an apprentice. This was the first one that I helped him with working on, and learned a tremendous amount working on this with him. And you can again watch the videos of the build of this gas station too. Let's go in and take a look at the third gas station. Howard, how are you doing?
Tired. Doing fine.
Oh God. And this is the third gas station in the 15 building series, I guess, with the client. Or
yeah, we always thought it was 16 buildings, then we went down to 15, and we finally discovered that there were 16.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is number 15. And then another monster, this is another Godzilla of the building, this is Ladensville Station.
Oh, wow.
Now, the original was built in HO, and I sold that the first day I took it to the automotive show. It was gone.
Oh, wow.
It was only like 24 inches. This thing is going to be immense in H, and we may have to scale it down, but we'll do it right. Now, this sketch you found was a Simmer building, but not exact. This I did for my client out in Colorado. I'm sorry, Washington State.
Wow.
And I sketched it while he was there.
And folks, these
that
are...
was going to be one of the... actually, I had built that. I already built it, but it was much smaller.
A smaller version
Well,
of...
about 80% the size of this one here.
So these, like as usual, these are all your designs, and...
Well, yeah, except, it's like a design. A lot of times in old-time music, we'll sit and play a bunch of licks and a bunch of runs. All of a sudden, it sounds like a melody. But nobody's composing it. I don't sit down with notes or sketch it. A lot of times when I scratch build, I'll just build one elevation. Hey, this looks good. I'll do the next elevation, and it's like at 90 degrees.
Right.
Maybe I'll put the next elevation at 45 degrees and work on the back, then angle it, and so forth. And that's the fun of it for me. I mean, I don't design this stuff. Sometimes I'll do a sketch, but it's more fun just building it.
Well, you create it. I mean, it's...
I'm not saying that's the way to do it. I'm saying it works for me.
Right, right. And this is the in progress.
Now, you being my disciple will learn this.
I'm trying.
You're doing okay. I've seen you. Trust me, you're doing great.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time, but that's the fun of it.
The work you did today was fine. Now, I screwed up on this thing also because, as you know, I've ran the bracing in line with the grain of the wood. And you don't want to do that. You want it against the grain.
Right.
Now, basswood is a hardwood. Matter of fact, if you see a basswood tree, which is pretty predominant in the Northeast, they're big. It's part of the, what the hell is it, Lindis? In Britain, they're called lime trees, I know that. But the flower on a basswood tree is very, very fragrant. The little yellow flowers. And they grow in little groups of 3 on the end of the branch. I highly recommend it. But the wood is hard, and it's beautiful stuff. So, how did I get into that subject?
Because this is basswood.
Oh, okay, bad.
And
I ran the bracing the wrong way.
Right, but you corrected that by super reinforcing the bracing. And again, this will be on a diorama. This will have signs, details, columns to hold it up. And we were talking about, I don't know where the column disappeared, a funny name for the columns.
Columns. Oh, the gazintas.
The gazintas, yeah. Let me show you what a gazinta is. I didn't know what it was. It's part of the learning process. You take larger gazintas and then stick smaller ones inside, so you can
Look at the
create.
base, yeah.
You know,
Well,
you
that's a little too small.
right, but you get the idea here. You
That's
get
an almost gazinta.
it's an almost. You get the idea of the columns.
Actually, not far off.
Wow, that looks pretty good. And we have a large. Howard has a huge selection of gazinta.
Well, I have a selection. We have to make our own gazintas. We got a selection of rods and tubing.
You asked me to look for it. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't. What am I looking for? I had no clue.
You will.
But at any rate, folks, there's a.
Well, they also show this. We started. Al started Laytonsville yesterday by doing this. This is the start. And we're starting with the. Oh hell, I know where the picture is.
Boy, that's going to be pretty.
This will be the cupola up here.
Yeah.
So we have made progress on it. On Laytonsville.
Yes. It's a tremendous amount of work, folks, for these. It's.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of folks don't understand it. Remember, Al, at the shows, I used to have a sign that says, when you ask me about my work, please try to remember that I stopped working for $3 an hour in 1956.
Right.
And
Right.
people, they don't understand that. The frustrating thing about this, I might be making $20 an hour, who knows, maybe 50. I never really give a shit. But inside, I have the plumber that just came in making 140 an hour.
Right.
And
Nobody complains. It
this is not a license, not a trade, or
right.
but nobody complains about that. But they always complain about this. That's okay. It's life.
Well, we've talked about it before, folks. If you have the ability, that's great. And if you want to have fun, and that's why we do some of these videos, so I learn from you and other people can
Well,
learn.
we talked about our life and art is about sharing. There is no art if it cannot be shared.
Right.
Whether the person buys it from you or you give it to him doesn't make any difference. It just doesn't work. So the biggest thing that I love is for somebody to come up and say, "Hey Zane, that looks great. Can you show me how you did that?"
Right.
There is no finer compliment that
And
somebody can pay me.
That's one of the main thrust of this channel is to show, give you a tool to show folks how you do these things.
Well, I think we'll be doing more of that, as you said.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
A lot more.
We can do clinics and things
It's
like that.
it's fun.
Now,
It's,
the Alan Keller series, Keller did 3 videos on my layout, and I think I did 4 workshops per video.
right.
So things from building waterfalls to, geez, I can't remember now.
Yeah, you did a landscape, putting a building in a
That was the
landscape.
first one. That was terrible. Oh my God.
Right. But it at least kind of gives people an
I
idea.
no longer do that.
All right.
And I change also. I don't have any rules, and I've changed my techniques, probably several times.
Wow. And then you did one on how to do waterfalls.
That was one.
That was a really good one. Now, we don't sell these videos,
Well, actually, the
folks.
fellow up just said that one customer wanted to have that waterfall. He bought it from me.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, Howard, I appreciate it. And when we fire the video up again, we will show this structure far, far more finished than it is today.
Oh yeah. Now we should talk about these windows up here.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people will see that. Hey, Zane, you made a mistake. Your windows are at the wrong height. No, they're not, because this is not a good design, but a lot of people use it and it works because you have a gully in here, a natural gully, which forms a drain
Right.
or a cap for water to stay in. So, if these windows were down to here, and let's say it was open, or even the bottom sealer, this water would probably get in there.
Wow.
So that's why we raise these windows. It's in the same room, but then again, just a little higher.
Right, a little
Those
higher.
windows would be 3.5 feet off the floor versus 2 feet off the floor.
Right.
That's all.
Wow. It's an interesting.
But some people don't know that, and I'm not even sure I'm right. That makes sense.
Right.
Remember, I'm not an architect.
Well, yeah, but you know a lot more architectural logic. You're trying
Well,
to.
you meant the logic is the keynote to scratch building. I said that before. If you have a logical mind, wow, you can do it. That's
Right.
all it takes.
Well, Howard, I appreciate it. Next time we fire this up, we will have an update on this beautiful structure. Thanks so much, Howard.
Oh, you're quite welcome.